Hello, recovered souls. Welcome back to Healing Rehab with your host here, Yafa Shifra. How's everyone been doing? I know I have been MIA for a while, missing in action, okay? So I've been taking a little time to protect my peace and to just take care of my overall well-being. How about you? Let me know in the comments how you've been doing, and have you been safeguarding your sacred space as well to protect and guide your peace and overall well-being. So welcome back. I've missed you guys. Today I want to talk to you on the subject of how the new version of yourself, it actually is repulsive to the people who are familiar with you. And why am I using such a very large and intense word? It's simply because there's a saying that familiarity breeds contempt. And I can assure you, and I can attest to my experience that these words are so true. Let me tell you something, recovered souls, and I feel that many of you are going through this because anytime I come back to our platform here to bring a message, a word, it's always guided by the Most High, and He always puts in my heart, He puts in my heart what someone needs to hear. Now, as you transition and you go through these different levels and you're discovering yourself, there's always people from your past who really feel they know you. And as a chosen one, really, no one really knows you, not even your parents. There's something unique, undiscovered about us, and even we are coming into the full knowledge and power of who we are. So if we're just learning ourselves, no one else can understand who you are in totality. So anyone coming and saying, I know you well, they really don't. They feel that they know. They have the illusion that they know exactly who you are, but they really don't in actuality. So here's the thing. While you're transitioning into this new level, you'll have those from your childhood or your family who come across your path or try to invade your space. And these people want to tell you who you are, or they want to hold you to who you used to be. And you've a long time elevated into this new version, and they're not willing to accept who you are because the new version of you is uncomfortable for them, because you no longer have the same mindset. You no longer allow people to take advantage of you. You no longer allow people to dictate who you are. You're standing in your truth. You're standing in your authenticity. And it irritates people because they love the old version of you, the old version where they could extortionate or be extortioners to you. They're manipulative. They control the narrative of your life. And even if you were one who stood up and you didn't allow people to control you or manipulate anything concerning your life, they are just holding on to that old version. Oh, you remember when we used to do this and that? And that's not who you are anymore. You've raised your vibration. You've gone to a whole another level, a dimension, and they're still on the same level, the same place, expecting you to be in that same spot. Some of these people haven't been in contact with you for years, but when they come across your path, they want to take over from where you once left or where they thought they knew you on that particular level. And this is the epitome of toxicity, because anyone in your life who has a positive intention towards your spiritual and emotional, mental growth, they're always going to be in support of your elevation. They're always going to be in a place to cheer you on, like, wow, this new version of yourself looks so beautiful. It's so refreshing on you. They compliment. They cap for you. You know, when I say they cap, they just have this thing in them where they want to see you succeed. They want to see you become the better version of yourself. And so if you're coming in contact with people, you're doing something different, but they want you to meet them back on the space where you used to. And you're like, I'm not that type of person anymore. You're looking at them kind of crooked-eyed, like, you really don't know me. I'm not the same person. And these types of people, they want to overstep your boundaries, you know? They want to keep you at that lower place where you were. And what I'd like to advise you to do in cases like these, you have to separate yourself, because these people would never value or appreciate the standards you're raising for yourself or the new frequency you have allowed yourself to get to. And so they would always throw roadblocks. They'll always remind you of who you were. They'll always remind you of who they thought you were to them. In these cases, it's time to block. It's time to move on. It's time to surround yourself with people with like minds, people who are ready to see you flowing on a new wave, and who's going to support, you know, what they're seeing about your accomplishments, about your mindset, that you no longer think on the level as you were even last week, because you're evolving as a human being. You're going to greater dimensions, and you're learning how to protect your space. You're learning and seeing the world through different lenses. You no longer consider or think of things the same way you were in high school, or even in your 20s, or even in your 30s. Some of you may be younger, and you are still not the same person you were last year or even a few weeks ago. And so people who truly love you and who are called to be your soul family or your tribal family, they're going to understand that anything alive ought to be growing and evolving and becoming a better person, creating a better space. And they're going to appreciate that. They're going to push you to become even better. And so you have to separate, beloved, from these types of people from your past, because they're not equipped for the new level you're on. They will continue to drag you down. They will continue to act familiar, and they really don't even know you. So it's time to break free from these people. Never be ashamed or hold guilt for wanting what's best for you. Everyone cannot go with you to the next level. You see, because people will try to alter the path that the Most High has for you. They would try to hinder. They would try to put you in the category that they feel you're supposed to be in. They want to put sanctions and disable your progress. But you have a different path. So don't entertain these types of people. Don't let their familiarity and their toxicity influence your movement, influence you flying high and soaring high like the eagle. Remember, in one of the podcasts, I spoke about eagles. They don't come down to hang out in chicken coops, okay? So when you feel that you're in a space where you always have to explain something to someone about your growth, and they're just continuously reminding you of mistakes and just little things in your growing process that they're still throwing up in your face, this is not, or these are not the type of people who are ready to go with you to the next phase of your life. These people are stuck. They don't like advancing. They don't like pulling themselves up and elevating, and so therefore they want to keep you down. They want to keep you in the same low frequencies and level and vibration. And they would always put hindrance, barricades around you. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. Step out of your comfort zone, and those of your past, or those who appreciate you and want the best for you, they will continue to grow. And even some of those who support you may not be able to go to that next level. You have to decipher. Not everyone can go because everyone doesn't have the same mindset. And there's a sacred text that says, two cannot walk together lest they agree. And there's another sacred text that says, be not unequally yoked. When you have to continuously explain the reason you're doing something, and then they're expecting you to do it the same, these people aren't growing. They're not exceeding. They're not in a space to advance themselves. And I remember talking to particular people from my past, and they're like, oh, saying about themselves, I haven't changed, I'm the same person. Those are red flags. If you hear anyone saying this about themselves, it's time for you to break all contact and keep going. When you see they're using jabs, throwing jabs at you, shade, you know, I had a particular person in my life, and, I've moved and traveled, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to leave my home. Like, they're trying to make me feel ashamed for leaving what was considered my home to go out and spread or explore my horizon. These people are talking out of jealousy. And when I confronted the person, oh, I'm just joking. No, that's a negative vibe. You have to be able to read in between the lines, beloved. These people are inwardly jealous. They don't want to put in the work to soar. And so when you start putting in the work to better yourself and to go to that next level, they can talk all the smack. They want to and throw shades at you. They want to make you feel guilty or as if you're doing something bad to want better for yourself, okay? And so I want you to focus on that. And it hurts sometimes losing those people along the way. But let me tell you something, kings and queens. A lot of times we want to stay and empathize with these people and we want to bring them up, but some of these people have an evil eye towards you. Some of these people, their evil is so intense, they have deleted some of their friends. They have sabotaged some of their friends. I can tell you stories of people I know and love who've been sabotaged greatly, where it's only going to take the grace of the Almighty to get them out of the sabotage that these people have blocked them into because of jealousy. Someone can literally mess up your life out of jealousy by sabotaging you. And so you need to sharpen your intuition and you need to trust your intuition and move forward and drop these people from your cycle. Trust the red flags you're feeling. Don't negotiate with it. Just trust your intuition. And if you are to the place where you don't have the proper discretion, you're not discretionary, you need to get in a place where you're praying and asking the Almighty to give you wisdom, guidance, knowledge, understanding, discretion, because discretion is going to keep you, as the sacred text says. Okay? So, beloved, I'm going to end the podcast here, and we're going to dive in a little deeper at a later date. But thank you for tuning in. If no one has been telling you and showing you love, you know I always like to tell you that I love you from the top and bottom of my soul, my heart, and my entire being. You are valued, you are loved, you are important. And I thank our new family members for joining our subscription. Welcome to the Recovered Soul family. We're so happy to have you. And should you need any form of healing and life coaching, then look in our subscription box for all the information, okay? And I want you to give yourself a warm hug. Wrap your arms around yourself and tell yourself how much you love you. Continue to protect your peace, and until next time, love you. Mwah.